from honestly speaking to you now and listening to everything that you're saying, I think this is like a weird super. I don't want to call it weird, but I think it's like a superpower that you have is like you know how to mold and like rewire your own brain
Yeah.
and like restructure it to what you want to be. You know how perception is reality.
Yeah.
If you have the cheat code of changing your mind, right, and all you do is rewire it this one way,
Yeah.
inevitably you're going to get that one way. And just from this conversation right here, I'm picking that up as like, that's your superpower, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's,
I never heard it broken down that way. That's dope.
I appreciate it. I'm just listening because like every single thing that you say is like, you did it. You did it. I mean, God gave it to you, right?
For sure.
God gave you the gift and the ability.
Credit,
Yeah, not at all. But you had to restructure your mind to be, I am going to be successful. I am going to live here. You can get access to capital and do these different things, right? Because like you said, you didn't have the role model. You didn't have the mentor to show you that these things are possible. So, man, congratulations to you. And anybody that's listening today, I hope that they hear this and they pick this up and they're able to digest this because
Oh, yeah, for sure.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
You said that you had multiple businesses, right? I'm going to go back a little bit. You said that you had your first business. Obviously, you got some money, made some bad decisions, whatever. You had a good time, right? When you're new to money, you do new money things. You know what I mean? Exactly. So it's understandable. Then you came back, you ran it up again. You got a little bit wiser, right? You got a little bit more mature. What inside of that, though, would you say was like your turning point? Was it like, dang, I stumbled, I scraped my knee again. I don't ever want to do this.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of us stumble. I mean, if we look at our knees right now, it's a bunch of scrapes on it. We make the same mistakes, whether it's riding a bike, we gonna fall. But I've hit rock bottom a couple times, and every time I hit rock bottom, it seemed like it was worse. But the more I felt like I was the lowest I got, I felt like that was the biggest lesson, right? So, you know, when I moved to Vegas, that was like my restart point. Like I was sleeping on the floor out here at my friend's house.
Wow.
I was just speaking to I actually ran into one of those friends the other day too. I said, yo, we used to sleep on the floor together. Like we just was trying to figure life out.
Right.
But I always knew that God had a better purpose for me. So I didn't allow that time in my life to really define who it was that I was as a person. And I already reached like a certain level in my life to where I already proved to myself that it was possible to get there. So it just really took for me to learn, regroup, and just figure out what direction I want to go at that point. And like I said, I just really allowed God to use me again. And it took me back to an even higher high that I was before, you know. But I had to, whatever lessons I learned during that last season of my life, I had to apply to this new season. And then I feel like from there, my life just started to continue to elevate. But it just took for me to learn from whatever it was, because we would keep putting ourselves in that same cycle unless we learn what it is. So, yeah, I really just had to learn my lesson over and over until I got to the point where I am today.
I don't think people truly understand what it's like to be an entrepreneur, right? Or their own business owner or their own boss until they're in it of the hardships, the struggles. There's no one else to turn to. Everyone looking at you to pay them.
Right.
You can't show you're going to break. And you got an email that was you were expecting to close the deal. It fell through. You get what I mean? And you got to come out strong-faced, ready to go because you got people waiting on you. You know what I mean?
To speak on that, not to cut you off.
No, you could.
So we had a tech company called Skywalkers. You remember when the hoverboards was going on?
Crazy.
Our company name was Skywalker. So we were one of the top companies out here selling the hoverboards. But we get to the point where we make hundreds of thousands a day. And next thing you know, they shut all our merchants down. They basically sealed off everything for us. So during in that same day, our lights got cut off. So we in the office in the dark with employees, like having to be strong for them, because if we show any kind of weakness, like who are they to be the strong one? They depending on us. So to kind of speak on what you was kind of speaking on is like, yeah, we really had to be those leaders and kind of fight through those moments to get through it and really just kind of get through that season. But yeah, we came from here and they shut everything down. So at any moment, being an entrepreneur, it can change. And, you know, I felt that numerous times, but it's really just about getting through the storm. Instead of giving up, you just got to kind of get through it. So I know I'm kind of rambling, but, you know, I feel like life actually has a lot of storms. Just like an actual storm in life, when it's raining, You can either sit in the rain or you can keep going. You're going to get out of that storm a little faster if you keep going versus sitting under that rain cloud.
Yeah.
So, life is the same way. If you keep going, eventually the sun going to come back out. So if you feel like you stuck in those spots to where, life is just a storm, just keep going. Because when you give up, that's when you lose everything. If you keep going, you just keep going. So you keep going, you keep growing. So I'm going to say that. So I feel like that's a fact. I had to go through those times a lot, man.
As you were saying that, I'm going to bring this back to me again. I had one reviewer on my book, crazy. They literally left a review saying, you gave me how to fix my own credit in one chapter. You gave me how to get business funding in one chapter, but there were 7 chapters of mindset.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what they were looking for.
Yeah.
And I read that review and I was like, you still didn't get it.
Right. It went right over your head.
It went right over your head. I beat this into you for 7 chapters. Do you see how you focus on
one?
It's so simple that I can break it down in one chapter. How do you repair your credit? Right. Mm-hmm. It's that easy.
Right.
It's one chapter. I can show you how to build a funding sequence and go get the bag. 50,000, 150. It's that simple.
Yeah.
But it takes this much to get you to transform your mind, and you still couldn't grasp that.
Right.
And someone left that review on my book.
Yeah.
And it made me understand, okay, it's not for everyone, but it actually is for everyone because they don't get it.
Yeah.
And speaking to you, man, that is like something I hope, and I'm saying this again, I hope that they understand this world that we choose to get into of this entrepreneurial world. It is 99% mental.
Oh, yeah.
All transformation within the ears.
Yeah.
And you are like living testament of it because your will, right? Your determination, you just move off of the things that come to you naturally. But everything that you speak on, and that's why I told you at the very beginning, like you're a motivational speaker for me.
Yeah.
This is really who you are. This isn't just for show. Yeah, for anyone who thinks that this is for show, this is not for show. Like this is real life. Man, the transformational stuff that you touch on is just huge. And I hope that people truly understand that if you can conquer this mind thing, you can do anything. Mm-hmm. Was there something like, so there was books for me, and it was like how to win and influence people, right? Another big one, obviously, is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Was there something like that happened to you that got you to this? I know obviously the struggles and the mishaps and your shortcomings got you here, but was there something that you just like clicked in your mind where you're like, I'm on to something here. Let me continue to, like you said, soil or water your own soil. You know what I mean? Was there something like that?
Just me putting the puzzle pieces together. And right now I'm kind of like dazing off trying to figure out or trying to think of like one in particular moment to where I might be able to think of, but it's so many moments to where I could say like, this was connected to this. Then once I learned this lesson, then this lesson made sense. Yeah. It's so many different things.
Okay.
To the puzzle.
Let me try to go back to what my perspective was for me. Mm-hmm. So when I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I never knew anything about credit, right? Mm-hmm. So to get the mind shift, right, that Robert Kiyosaki was obviously trying to get to the audience, was the new thing to me. And I was like, wait, people are living like this? Like you could do this? Yeah. And then obviously I went down the rabbit hole, YouTube University. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I figured out the importance of credit because like I wasn't taught it either. You know what I mean? And once I figured out that I was able to use this thing that I can go and leverage, right, and get credit cards, and then he put it into vessels of rentals, right, and properties, I was like, I could do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that was that moment for me. Was there any, and if there wasn't for you, it's okay.
So, I mean, when it comes to the credit aspect, like growing up, we always used our own money. Like, so we weren't really taught the credit. So once it was time for me to buy a house, that's when I got more into the credit aspects because I understood the importance. We taught that cash is king, but really once you get into the real world, it's not. They don't care how much money you're bringing in. If your credit bad, you can still get denied. Mm-hmm. So once I got a house and I pretty much got my credit fixed. From there, I was able to understand, okay, everything I was using my own money for, I can now use and leverage the bank's money. And instead of me investing, let's just say $5,000, I can now invest $10,000 and double what it was that I would have got for the $5,000. So I think that during the seasons of me using my own money, it really prepared me to manage the bank's money better, because now I'm able to basically apply those same tactics that I use as far as marketing and everything, like buying inventory. I can do all of those same things just at a bigger scale, and get rewarded from it using the reward points, cash back. So even me coming here, I'm able to use reward points, going to the game, the fight, or whatever it is, using all just perks of me spending money that I would have already spent anyway. So yeah, I feel like me buying a house is really the turning point of me understanding the importance of credit. Because like I said, my mom, my dad, they didn't really know much about credit. So I wasn't really taught anything about it until that time where I had to fix it for my house.
To say buying your house was the turning point in your life, because for so many people, and not saying that it's wrong for anybody, so many people, that's the end game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm buying my family home and I've made it. So for that to be your launching pad.
Yeah. It's so much more than just buying a house. And that's the average person's goal. Well, actually, no, I would say the average person's goal is to get a car.
Okay.
There's so much more to just having good credit than just getting a car. Get a house. Go and get business funding. Go and get a bunch of different things that you can get that you wouldn't be able to get if you had bad credit. So it's so many things that you can use your credit for. And I feel like once people educate themselves on what's out there, then they'll be able to utilize that for the good, versus thinking, oh, one more thing. The average person feel like getting a house is so much harder than it actually is. It's not that hard to get a house.
No, I could speak. I'm a living testament to it as well, because I thought it was the hardest thing. I literally walked in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Met a lender. They told me right away, this is what you got to work with.
Yeah.
And just go find the zip code you want to stay up in, and we'll connect you with a real estate agent. You know what I mean? Like, it's that easy.
It's super easy.
Super easy.
There's so many first-time home buyer programs to the point to where you don't have to have a 750, you don't have to have an 800 credit score to get a house. I know people who got high 800s that got approved for a house. So it's like the average person in the 500s somewhere, as long as you don't have like evictions and a bunch of craziness on your credit, first-time home buyer programs is more than likely going to approve you for, not to say that you can get $1 million house, but you can get something that's probably better than where you live right now.
100%.
Yeah.
Man, that right there is a gem, because not a lot of people really touch on the first-time home buyers programs also.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recommend any? Do you have any off the top of your head?
Honestly, I don't like dabbling in other people's lanes. So when it comes to being a realtor, I don't want to be a realtor.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what y'all got to do. I'm going to connect you with a realtor that I may be plugged with, and y'all can talk about that. But as far as the first time, I just know that there are a bunch of first-time home buying programs out there that you can take advantage of. So whatever your local builder offers you, hey, that's on them.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I know my expertise. I stay in my expertise. So I just wanted to throw it out there.
No, for sure.
You
Yeah.
good. What is something that if you could leave the listener today, right? If you wanted to leave someone that wants to be an entrepreneur, or maybe they are, right? And they just might not be where they think they are supposed to be, or where they want to be or envision to be. Let's do 2 pieces of advice, because you're already like preaching, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the transformation stuff. But what's 2 pieces of advice? Maybe like get prepared for this, and then a piece of advice that you want to leave.
Yeah. No, like we spoke on the mindset. It's actually a certain mindset that you have to have in order to reach a certain level, right? So I don't want you to, I can tell you, man, go get as much money as you want, but you have to get the mindset part down pat. And it's more than just that. Like, mentally, you got to be right, physically, spiritually. There's so many things that come with it, right? If your health is wrong, or if your health is bad and you're trying to dabble into certain things that might throw you off, if your finance is bad, like if you don't understand certain things about it, you got to get that part about yourself together first before you get introduced to that part of life. That's one thing. But the average person, I just want them to start. Whatever you feel like is holding you back, just start your journey, man. Like, quit talking yourself out of it. Quit letting the devil talk you out of it, make you feel like you're not as good or you're not worthy of it. Whatever it is that you feel like God is putting in you, just give birth to that idea. And, that's one thing I can leave other people, just to start, man. Just stop talking yourself out of it. Quit doubting yourself. Just because your family didn't make it to a certain level don't mean you didn't make it or you can't make it. Just because your friends didn't make it don't mean you can't make it. It's just, you just got to start somewhere. Just go.
The day and era that we're in of like social media, right?
One more thing.
Oh,
not
please,
to
you good.
You have to stop comparing yourself
Come
too.
on.
So I know, I do the same thing. Like I show my highlights. I don't, I have a lot of low points. I don't show those. I'm human. But I feel like when we keep showing our highlights and we comparing our, I guess, low lights. We comparing that to other people's highlights. It's like we get discouraged. We start to doubt ourselves, and we feel like our journey don't look like their journey. But you have to stop comparing yourself to other people. Everybody's journey is different. So just go along for the ride, or go along for your ride. Ride your ride, just ride it out and see where it go. That's another thing I feel like a lot of people do, and it kind of keep them stuck because they thinking that it's supposed to be perfect, like how it looks on Instagram, but it's not gonna be perfect.
Ready to turn your dreams into reality? At DVN Consultations, we're here to guide you, complete white glove service every step of the way. Whether you're starting your credit repair journey or you're looking to get business funding, we've got your back. Go ahead and screenshot or click the QR code below and schedule your discovery call with the team. Let's make your dreams come true together.